But are the simple things that nowadays are difficult to understand, right? Maybe also before, right? The most simple phenomena are the most difficult to be understood, right? I always like to make the comparison of math. You have a big equation and then you have to simplify it, right? You have to take pieces and solving, simplifying. And at the end you get maybe also just one number. That is simple, is one number. But to get with that simplicity, did you have to do something complicated? No. It was complicated. But you had to simplify. And each part you have been simplifying was a simple job. So complications are just in your head. Complications are those moments where you discourage, where the bigger picture is too much for you, when you think there is too much to do, a big equation. But a big equation, if you check at the root, when you are expert in math, when you love math, it is just a parenthesis. Inside a parenthesis. Inside another parenthesis. And inside another parenthesis. And you take just that small piece. You don't need to take the entire equation. You take that small piece. And that small piece has always the same rules. Is 9-based calculus. Right? Usually. And some other math, they have 2-based calculus, 5-based calculus, right? There are many kind of systems, right? You might be surprised, but that is a matter also of a subject, a matter also of mantra. Mantra has math, but the math of mantra is a math that is that connected with nature.
Music also?
Music, yes, right? There is music for sure, there are sounds, right?
Music has mathematics.
Music have mathematics, yes. Of course, when we speak about music, we speak also about pleasure, right? So definitely mantra as music, right? But I would say that both music and math, right, are in the mantra at the most refined level, because the music of the tantra is that of life. Nowadays we don't like children screaming and people speaking, but we have a lot of romance about birds and bear or lion, right, singing. But if your approach is that of hearing and singing, that's a bit different, right? Isn't it? We have some examples, spontaneous example happening. Very good. So, math is a subject of Tantra. Why? Because the counting from 1 to 9, and especially the 0, okay, they are measures of reality. They are not just standard. You can find everywhere. You take a leaf, a maple leaf, has 5 points, or maybe 7, it depends, right? Examples, right? And so forth. You have 4 limbs, plus the head make 5, right? So there are some structures. And those structures are part of the mind. So when we say mantra, protecting the mind, the mind also, it moves in a certain way. The mind is dualistic. And when you split, math become a language that could be used, right? So the power of the speech nowadays, we think that the power of the speech is that of dividing, right? But the tantra is special because the power of the speech of the tantra is not the power of the speech of the mundane reality. The tantra employ a speech of union, so is very particular, right? The speech is not for dividing. The speech is for uniting. Maybe you might be not agree that nowadays we use the speech for dividing, right? But when you pay the rent, you are dividing. When you are going to eat, you are dividing, right? Etc., etc. So it's particular speech. It's a speech that you might not understand at the beginning because your result expect always a result of a division. You might be surprised, but a multiplication is a division, right? At the school, you just think the opposite, right? Isn't it? But a multiplication is a division.
Yes.
Hmm?
It's so true.
Right? Yes.
Can you explain a bit more? I'm not sure I get it.
It's very simple. If you take 2, multiply 2, how many pieces you have?
4. You have more division than before.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. Think you have a bread, okay? You have 2 people, right? What you do? You divide, right?
Yeah.
If you want more, you have to divide more. So division, multiplication are interdependent, are interconnected, like subtraction and addition, right?
I mean, they are interdependent, but they, to me, a multiplication and a division aren't the same.
No, but they are based on the same principle. Yes,
But
please.
you can also see like 3 multiplied by 4. You're doing 4 group of 3 or 3 group of 4. You're separating in groups. You can see it like that.
Okay.
You have to understand deeply because many of our fears in our speech come from how we see reality. And nowadays, the math, statistic, multiplication, and division are kind of confused. You look at the cell, you see a phenomena, is a multiplication or a division?
It's not clear.
It's not clear because you see a cell that enter, and then you say many cells. Are divided or are multiplied? You can understand deeply only if you look at the core of reality. When a child is developing the womb, is multiplying or dividing? It's doing both. So it's so different that division and multiplication, right? Did you ever expect that the tantric class is that of math? The division and the multiplication is the same. Why? Because 2 cells get together. And when they are together, they start to split. Like our relationship. Right? We get married and now we start to divorce. So the 2 cells separate in 2, then in 4, then in 8, then in 16. How you call it this? A multiplication. But it's a division. But what it make it possible to be both? The fact that is enlarging.